Hi viewers, welcome to another edition of Marriage Clinic Live. How are you today? I remain your host, Marlai Hanofuti. Thank you so much for joining me today on this edition of Marriage Clinic Live. I would like to say thank you to everyone. Thank you for always joining us, for always following us. Thank you to all our followers on Facebook group page. Thank you to all our followers on our YouTube channel. Thank you to every one of you. I don't know how to thank you enough, you know, but I would like to say thank you. It's been hectic in the last few months, and for that reason I've not been able to do videos or share content consistently like I used to do. I've not been able to do quite a number of things like inviting guests, like I used to do, because a lot is happening and I'm just trying to, settle down properly, coupled with raising kids and all of that. But that stability is coming gradually, and I mean gradually. We are almost there. That phase, is almost over. So I thank God that everything is falling in place, and very soon I trust God that we'll go back to all those things we used to do, and we'll even do them a lot more better. So welcome to everyone. Welcome to Marriage Clinic Live. So today I would like to talk about what to do when you have a spouse that gets easily angered, or that sees everything like a fight. A spouse that that is always fighting, or that sees everything like a fight, or that is easily angered or gets easily irritated. What do you do when you have a spouse like that? So I would like to talk about that today, because I want to believe there are people out there who are experiencing this in their marriages. There may be someone out there who is married to a spouse that gets easily angered, easily irritated, that is always on the edge, that is always edgy, that snaps a lot, at any slightest provocation, or or even communication. So you may want to know how to understand such a spouse and how to manage the situation. So I would like to say that if you have a wife or a husband that gets easily angered or easily irritated, or sees everything as fight, you may want to first of all check what is causing it. What are the root causes of this kind of emotion and this kind of behavior, and when you are trying to check what could be causing this, you may want to check their stress level. You may want to ask questions around, could it be that he's stressed? Could it be that she's stressed? For example, if your husband is always the type that gets easily angry, that is always on the edge, that snaps, that wants to fight with you at every slightest provocation, you may want to check the nature of his job, how stressful it is. I'm not saying this is an excuse for you to misbehave to your spouse or to your wife, but I'm saying try to find out what is the nature of his job. Is the nature of the job ethic? Is it the type that would affect his state of well-being? Does it affect him even psychologically, mentally? You may want to check, does he have deadlines? Does he have unmet desires, unmet needs? Yeah, that is a very crucial one. When you see them getting edgy, snaps easily, you may want to check if there are unmet needs and unmet desires. Now this is very important. So for example, for those of you that don't get intimate with your spouse very often, during those times when it seems like there is a timeout and both of you are not coming together to engage in any form of intimacy, or you are not engaging sexually, during those breaks, it possible because because their desires are not met. It's possible for you to see your spouse becoming easily angered during this period or during this moment, and you'll be wondering what's going on. Why is he or she behaving like this? So you may want to check if there are unmet needs. When last did you both have intercourse? When last did you buy them a gift? Are their needs met? Do you make sure there is food at home? Do you make sure they have everything they need that is within your capacity or within your power? You can't provide everything, but I mean, to a large extent, do they have what they need to make them happy to an extent? And that is why personally I believe so much in being economically and financially independent in marriage, whether you are the man or the woman. I don't like a situation whereby I have needs, and I mean pressing needs, and I can't meet them. I don't like waiting on someone before I have my needs met, and no matter what, I try to do something as well to hand, so that whatever it is I want to do, I can afford it, even though my husband too has always been a blessing. So but if you have maybe a spouse that is not working and you feel overburdened financially, then this may be a reason why it's like, oh, you guys are fighting a lot. He or she gets easily angered. Why? Because someone has a lot of unmet desires that have been bottled up. So try to meet these desires. Try to meet them halfway. Try to make time for intercourse, and make sure the intercourse is is something they will look forward to. Make it interesting. Make sure it's not the type that it's like let's just have it for the sake of the routine, just to mark register. But make sure it's it gets there, like you can feel it in your body, you can feel it in your mind, you can feel it in your brain that this is therapeutic, this is relaxing, this is helpful, this is godly, this is spiritual. Be that intimate with your spouse sexually. And other unmet needs could also be financial, which is what I've talked about. And another thing you want to check is whether there are communication barriers between both of you. Because see, if someone has a suppressed emotion, or they feel their voice is being suppressed, like they want to communicate something to you but it's like you are not listening, so you may want to check your communication flow with your spouse. Do we communicate as much as we should do? Is there a free flow of communication between both of us? You want to check that. You want to ensure that there is a free flow of communication, that there are no emotions bottled up or voice that is being suppressed. You want to ensure that your wife's voice is heard in the house, your husband's voice is heard. That may be what is lacking. Let there be a free flow of communication. Your spouse should not be scared or afraid to talk to you, to tell you things that bothers them. They should feel free to come to you, even if you can't solve that problem. I mean, they should feel free to let you know what is bothering them, what is giving them sleepless night or nightmare. They should be free to tell you. But if they are not able to talk, if they are not able to speak, and you are suppressing him or her, I tell you, you will not enjoy that spouse. You will have an easily angered spouse, a spouse that gets easily angry, a spouse that gets easily irritated by whatever you do, because they feel like you are not just getting it, or you are not even understanding them. So you may want to pay attention to that. Ensure that there are no communication gaps You know, when you have a spouse that is easily angered, that is fighting, get easily irritated, is edgy, check your communication flow between both of you. Check your communication flow. Check if there are unmet desires. Check if check if there are unmet desires. Check, you know, check also if their stress level, the nature of their work. Now for the woman, her stress level could be that she's overwhelmed with chores and handling the kids, you know, all alone. And as a man, if you don't pay attention to that, I tell you, you will have a wife that is unhappy under your roof. Now that's one thing I always appreciate God for the kind of man I have, because he knows how to read me like he reads his encyclopedia or his dictionary, like, you know. So for example, he knows when I'm overwhelmed with chores and the kids, and he will say, you know what, at this point, just stay off all these things and I'm going to handle them for you. You know, for some people it might be getting her, you know, a help at home, a nanny and house help if you can afford it. If you can't afford it, why not team up, get the work done, reduce our workload, then reduce your husband's workload as well. It's not just for the man, it also happens for the woman. There are times that I will look at my husband, he has a lot to do, and I'll be like, well, since I'm at home all day today, why can't I just, you know, join him to reduce his workload? And I throw myself into the work, we get it done together, and before we know it, it's all done, you know. So don't stand aloof, or don't stay back and say, oh, I will just leave her to do everything, or I will just leave him to do everything. That way you will not enjoy that spouse. You may not enjoy peace in the house. Like I said, you need to understand the root cause. So many things can cause it. They may even be sick in their body, aside from being stressed. Do you pay attention to their health, to their well-being, to their lifestyle? Do you pay attention to healthy diet? Aside from understanding the root cause, you may also want to understand the triggers, because if you understand the triggers, you know, you can guide against it, you can prevent or avoid it. So for example, you may want to ask yourself, okay, so what triggers this anger thing, you know, this unnecessary anger, this unexplained anger? What usually triggers it? You need to be able to, you know, lay your hands or your fingers on what triggers it. So know the triggers, know what causes it. So could it be because, oh, I'm not calling his mom or her mom, or their, you know, my in-laws, you know? Could it be because I'm not relating well with the family as I should? Could it be because I'm not caring as much as I should? You need to ask all these questions. You need to look for what triggers. Could it be because of the way I speak to him in a disrespectful manner, or could it be because of the way I treat her in a disrespectful manner? Something must be triggering it. So you want to know what that thing is, self-reflect on it, and try to avoid it. Look for a way forward, look for a way to prevent, you know, an occurrence, you know, a reoccurrence of another episode, you know, when you understand the triggers and you avoid them. And another thing is, you want to check your control level. So for example, what I mean by that is, you want to check, are you the controlling type, or are you the type that influences your spouse to do your bidding? Are you the type that you are forcing, you are controlling, domineering? You make everything to be about you. You don't care about the other party, how they feel, how they think. You know, you don't carry them along. You don't care what their take is in matters. So if your spouse feels that they are left out, that they are not being carried along, that you are the controlling type, you are not carrying them along, then I tell you, all you will get is resentment, anger, frustrations and all of that. But if you carry them along, if you influence rather than controlling, if you make them know that, okay, we are in this together, you explain things, they understand you, they comprehend and understand your goals, your vision or your plans, what you are trying to achieve, then they will work with you. But in a situation whereby you just want to throw things at them, you don't want to hear their opinion, you don't want their views, then you may experience a lot of pushbacks. You may experience a lot of resentment, and you need to watch that very well. Another thing you may want to do is to sit your spouse down and ask them critical questions about, so what is making you edgy? What is making you easily angered, easily irritated? Could there be something you are unhappy with? Find out from them. You may want to hear it from their mouth rather than making assumptions that this is what is causing it or that is what is causing it. And that is why I value communication a lot in marriage. It works for us. Once we talk about it, it fizzles out immediately. Anything we can talk about, we experience a lot of progress on it. So make sure there are no communication barriers. Make sure communication flow is top notch, unhindered. Let the access to your spouse be unhindered as well. Your spouse should not be cringing, or they shouldn't be scared to come to you to communicate crucial matters to you. And another thing is, whenever you find out that they are getting easily angered, or they are becoming angry, getting frustrated, or expressing emotions of resentment and frustration, that is not the time for you to start shouting or matching their matching up with their anger. That is the time for you to refrain yourself from getting angry as well. That is not the time for you to match up with them by getting angry. That is the time to step things down by slowing down yourself. Make sure you don't get provoked to the point that you both are now in a shouting match, or you both are now in an angry mood. Make sure that you are doing the opposite of what they are doing. So even if he is mad or she is mad, ensure that you are not mad, that you are not you are not raging as well. Ensure that you try to keep your cool, you are calm. Try and listen more, because this will go a long way to help you comprehend, understand what the issues are, what the causes are, what the triggers are, and how to address it. And lastly, you need to practice lot of patience and compassion when you have such person as a partner. People with such traits, they usually need patient people around them. You will have to be very patient to deal with people who are always edgy, who are always fighting. They see everything as fight. Even when you talk, they hold your words, and they try to use it against you, or they try to twist what you did not say just to provoke or get you angry. See, if you're going to survive with that kind of a spouse, you will need lots and lot of patience. You will need lot of compassion. So I've met people like that, in my work in life, and I realized that the way I've been able to deal with it is from the angle of compassion, from the angle of empathy and patience. Because when I see such people, I'm like, something must be causing this, something must be triggering this, and whatever it is, Lord, I pray for them, Lord, that you will help them to resolve the issue. Whatever is causing this, help whatever is, hurting this person, that is making this person to be like this, getting easily angered, fighting and all of that, Lord, I pray you touch their heart, you heal them. So you can pray for them, you can have compassion, show empathy, empathize with them, let them know that, see, whatever it is that is causing this, you are together in it, and you are willing to listen, you are willing to help to resolve it. You have to exercise lot of patience to be able to cope with such a person. And don't forget, you can also pray with the person. It could be that they are going through some deep things that, who knows, they may not want to share with you, or even if they share it with you, they feel you don't have the solution. So why can't I just, be quiet? But it varies for different people. So let's try as much as we can to understand each other as couple. Let's pay attention to details. Let's pay attention to each other. I would like to stop here now because my baby is already calling on me. I pray that God will heal our home, God will heal our spouse, God will heal our heart. I would like to stop here now. Till we meet again, I remain your host, Marlai, and I say,
Marriage Clinic TV.